G'day there guys, Marky here, reminding you to stay hydrated. Welcome back to another episode of r/relationship advice. With that said, I want you to sit back, relax, chuck a prawn to the barbie, drink some water, and let's get right into it. Cheers. Posted by user DentistBig7041, titled, I got a text from my sister's bestie about her and my husband loving me too much to do anything to hurt me. My sister's bestie told me that she feels guilty for being a snitch, but that she couldn't do this to me anymore because she thinks that I'm a kind person and don't deserve this. My sister and my husband have always got along very well. They are both brilliant, both lecturers at the university, and they have so much in common. I'm not stupid, but I never loved school, and I have high school education. They have become best friends throughout the years, 14 years, but never once did I feel uncomfortable about it since my husband has shown me nothing but love and respect. The opposite. Until now, I counted myself lucky that the two people that I love the most in this world get along so well. But now, I feel nauseated. The bestie sent me screenshots upon screenshots of her conversation with my sister. My sister has feelings for my husband, and she appears to know that my husband feels the same way about her too. In one of the texts, my sister wrote that she loved me too much to do anything to hurt me. In another, she wrote that I'm too dear to both her and my husband to do anything that would hurt me. She seems to think that they're soulmates, which is odd because the talk about soulmates came up once between my husband and I when I told him that I didn't want us to be soulmates. He was curious and asked me why. I told him because soulmates meant that we're programmed or destined to fit together. There is no free will involved, and I want my love to come from a free space and not a predestined place. He laughed and said that he loved that, but apparently they are soulmates. I know that I need to talk to him, but I'm dreading that. I am in so much despair right now. In the comments, Art Needs More Fluff says, you need to have an honest conversation with your husband, and if you have a hope of saving this relationship, he and you need to go low contact with your sister, and you need couples therapy. Best case, your sister is suffering from limerence. Worst case, they're having an emotional or physical affair. Either way, inappropriate behavior has been happening that has been deliberately hidden from you. They say they don't want to hurt you, but behaving inappropriately hurts you. Lying about it and hiding it hurts you. They are already hurting you, and they have not stopped it. I know this conversation fills you with dread, but here's the thing. It's not going to go away, and it's not going to get better until it's exposed to the light, aired out, and addressed. Just tell yourself it's like going to the ER. You can't start to heal until the injury is found and diagnosed. You have found the injury, now you have to find what the injury consists of and start treating it. As terrible as the possibilities are, I always find that the knowing for sure is easier to deal with than having the unknown dangling over my head like Damocles' sword. OP replies, that's how I always felt. I would rather know the truth, until it happened to me, and now I don't even know what to say. Well, I am a rip the band-aid off sort, so I would be blunt. Are you in love with my sister? Why didn't you tell me my sister was in love with you? I am hurt and angry with the both of you. My sister's been crossing boundaries that she is well aware would hurt me, and you knew about this and keeping this from me in the absolute best case. In the worst case, you have been behaving equally poorly. How am I supposed to keep trusting you when you have been deliberately hiding this from me? Right now, here is your chance to tell me the truth about what has been going on with my sister and you. Then listen to him. Ask your questions. Then if you want to process it and not make any decisions, that is okay. If you want to try to save the relationship, tell him that he needs to show you his phone, etc., so you can see everything that has gone on between them, and then he needs to block her, and you two need couples therapy ASAP. You don't block your sister, but you don't reply to her either until you're ready. If you decide the hurt is too much, that is okay as well. I'm not going to lie to you, this is going to be painful. There may or may not be a happy outcome to this, but your recent happiness had been built on at least one lie, and that's never a stable foundation. You will get through these, likely with a few scars, but you will get through this. Avoiding is not only just putting off the pain, but adding more pain by leaving you wondering and mistrusting and fearing. If what the friend sent to you is true, You need to take a moment and gather your thoughts before this talk that you need to have with your husband. If possible, check his phone so you have a first-hand look at the communication, not the friend's one. If the real emotional affair is more than enough of a betrayal, please be careful. OP replies, "For me, even an emotional affair is a deal breaker, unfortunately. Don't bring it up with him until you're ready to see proof, if it's there, because as soon as it's brought up, you need to see his phone so that nothing can be deleted and your sister can't be warned. He needs to hand over his phone straight away. To be honest, it fully could be one-sided. I agree to look through his phone, but I would ask. I would show him the messages first, and then see how he reacts. If he confirms, you got to the bottom of it all immediately, and you have no need to hurt yourself further with whatever is on that phone. If he denies, then I would check. Then if he says that he's shocked too and has no feelings for her, then you say, I hope you can understand my point of view when I ask if I can check your phone right now. It reassures me that you are shocked, but I need an extra layer of confirmation. Honestly, you have screenshots upon screenshots of conversations with his sister, with her admitting to things being the way they are. I think it's a hard stretch to say that your husband isn't aware that she loves him. The relationship between those two is insanely disrespectful, and I find it hard to believe that he is completely unaware. Feels like this is the typical emotional affair that leads into a physical affair that's going to have some trickle-truthing while you find out bits of truths, and if you confront him with it straight away, he'll know to delete all of the evidence before you can see his phone. In a situation like this, I'd go through his phone first to find all the evidence you can before confronting him about it, because this is serious. Back up to the post, there's an edit. Hi. Thanks for your help. I asked how I would be sure before asking my husband so he doesn't just blatantly lie, and you suggested to look into his phone. Thank you for your suggestion. I did now. I told him about my sister's conversation with her best friend and showed him the screenshots. He was shocked at first and said that he had no romantic feelings for her and he had no idea about her feelings. So I asked to see his phone. I read their texts and emails, and I was shocked that their contact is way more intensive and intense than I thought. They talk on a daily basis. They have lunch multiple times a week. Nothing sexual in texts, but yeah, he's stupid if he doesn't know that she loves him, and he must think that I'm stupid if, after reading, I wouldn't get the feeling that he has some feelings too. In one of her texts, she wrote that she wished that they had met first and under different circumstances. His answer wasn't totally dismissive. He wrote, yeah, it probably would have been different. When I asked him about it, he said, well, yeah, if he didn't know and love me, then he probably would have been interested in another, my sister included. But he loves me, and she is a close friend of his. So there's no sexual relationship between them, but I'm not sure that that's enough for me. I think they are both wrong and should have nipped it in the bud way earlier. I don't know what to do now. I think I need time for myself to process this. I don't feel well at all about this, and I don't want to make this decision from a place of fear and hurt, nor convenience. I'm sorry I can't answer all private messages, because I don't use my phone that often. But our ages are, my husband 45, me 42, my sister 38. My husband and I have been together for 16 years and married for 14. My sister is single. I am not a stay-at-home mom. I have my own business. We don't have children. My sister has 2 from a previous relationship. Edit again. So now I've had some long talks and discussions with my husband. He seems to think that this is getting bigger than it's supposed to because I told him that I needed time alone to think and digest this. He said he doesn't understand why I'm this hurt since he loves me and nobody else. I didn't relent, however, and he admitted that he knows that my sister is in love with him because she has told him so, but she knows that nothing can happen between them, so she's fine with just friendship. Marta. He loves her, but not romantically, and he's happy to have a friend like her. Their friendship is important to him, and he doesn't want it to end because I don't trust him and his love for me. He made a comparison to my best friend and asked what I would think if he asked me to cut my best friend from my life. He admitted that, intellectually, he has more in common with her than with me, but that the heart doesn't always choose who we are more compatible with, and that he loves and is physically attracted to me. I think this whole situation is messed up. I'm repulsed by them both. I texted my sister all her screenshots, and she wrote that she was disappointed in her bestie and that your husband is all yours because I would never let anything happen that would hurt you because you are the most important person to me. In other words, they are both contradicting each other since both seem to believe that they are the one who is not letting a relationship between them grow for my sake. And now, on to the update. My soon-to-be ex-husband and my sister's love for me was worth 1 week. So I've written here and a few comments about my soon-to-be ex-husband and my sister. I left him about a week after, and he texted me day and night about how much he loved me and wanted me back, and then he just stopped. That's when I found out that my sister left her children at my parents' house and moved in with my husband. This made everything come out to the rest of my family, and my parents were shocked, and my mother really looked like she was already showing PTSD symptoms, about how disgusting she felt this whole thing was. She kept calling it incest and asking, is that even legal? I guess that's how much my sister cared not to hurt me, if you read my first post. Even though I've been so well composed and calm that I surprised myself, I still tried my hardest to look back on my whole life, childhood, and upbringing to understand when it all went so wrong. What my sister did felt like something that was the result of years of resentment, or at least indifference towards me and our relationship as sisters. So how did I miss that? She never cared about me, did she? If she did, how could I have been so blind? Then, not even a week later, I heard that they have ended things. I found out in the oddest way possible. My sister texted me. The first time she texted me since everything started. She just wrote, "You witch, I hope you burn in life and in hell." I was very confused, because she spent that week sharing cheesy, deep quotes about love and soulmates and romantic Insta stories with my soon-to-be ex-husband. But apparently that was over. Soon-to-be ex-husband has blocked her everywhere, and she moved out. Because she came to my parents to get her children and had a meltdown when they asked for an explanation. Soon-to-be ex-husband started calling and texted me again, asking me to meet because he wanted to explain because he loved me and wanted me to understand. He wanted to meet me at least once before we started to meet with the lawyers involved. So that's that. This has left me even more confused than if they just ended up together. I understand falling out and in love, breaking up and starting anew, but I can't explain this. My soon-to-be ex-husband keeps calling me his only love and true friend, and my sister, until I left, kept promising that she would never do anything to hurt me. She left her children at my parents' doorstep and didn't answer their calls or texts for a week. And all of this for a week? What were they thinking? Has anyone ever heard of something like this happening? People throwing everything away for not even a week? In the comments, Rosebud2911 says, "He doesn't deserve you, OP. How would your relationship have come back from this if he didn't prioritize and respect you? They most likely slept together during the week that they spent together. I hope you go no contact with your sister. She sounds entitled and self-centered. She knew that she was crossing boundaries, but she didn't care. She abandoned her children. What kind of parent does that?" OP replies, "I found out that it was over between them because she texted me, 'You witch, I hope you burn in life and hell.' So I went on Instagram to see multiple messages from mutual friends about how they have ended it. He kicked her out. So yeah, no contact and gladly so. Please show this to your parents. They might want you two to reconcile at some point, but it might help them stay strong and not hassle you because of their strong feelings." Absolutely classic narcissistic/Chester response. Shit the bed, can't figure out why it stinks. Somehow her screwing up everything is your fault because it can't possibly be hers. She was okay with you losing everything, but when her consequences came knocking, it's suddenly unfair. I don't agree with the comments. Your sister still wants him. She was so in love that she left her children and wouldn't hesitate to leave them again. But I'm not sure about your husband. He kicked her out. Maybe he saw her true colors. A psycho. Maybe he was tricked by your sister and nothing sexual happened when they were together and he is just stupid. I don't know. You should know your husband, his weaknesses and his strengths, and you still don't have any idea. Her accusation indicates that he left her to be with you, and he's sure that he can convince you not to divorce if he has the chance to talk. This is where I'm confused. I wish I were a friend of him and asked him directly. I have seen many relationships, but never seen such nonsense. The feelings are usually mutual and last more than a week. I mean, two people fall in love, and they see they are not meant for each other after several months, and they mutually hate each other or feel nothing to each other. Their relationship doesn't fit this pattern. Please update us. OP replies, I do think they slept together when she moved in with him, but I agree with the rest of your comments. I know it's far-fetched, but what can he say if they slept to win you back? She tripped and fell on my penis just once? It doesn't count as cheating? Everything is weird. You have my sympathies. OP replies, fortunately, I will never hear his excuse, and I've decided not to read any messages, etc., and when the divorce is final, I will change my number. Posted by user NoKiwi2, titled, Am I the asshole here for announcing our pregnancy at my brother's wedding after he proposed at mine? My brother said he was going to propose at my wedding. I told him no, that it was a day about myself and my wife, and we didn't want any distractions. My mum lost her shit. She said that he wanted family that he might not see again for a while to be part of the proposal. I said I didn't give a shit, and that if he did it, I would have him kicked out. He did it, and my mum said that if I tried kicking him out, then she would leave too. I just remember seething inside. My brother got married last weekend. Instead of a welcome to the family toast, I used the time to announce that we were expecting our first baby. My mum was upset, but my grandmother told her to sit down and to shut up. We spent most of the reception talking to the family that we would not see again for a while about our coming baby. My mum says that I was an asshole for taking attention away from my brother on his wedding day. She got really mad when I reminded her that she threatened to leave my wedding if I kicked him out after he proposed. I have the screen cap of the text messages. OP responds to multiple questions on how his wife felt about his brother proposing at their wedding. OP says, My wife has been angry since our wedding. My wife wanted to get even after we agreed to have the wedding in my home country, and her family and friends had to travel for our wedding, and he hijacked it. In the comments, so has your mom always favored your brother? OP says, yes, especially after I moved to a different country for work. The tidbit about grandma is funny. I'd like to know more. Yes, grandma was the queen. His grandma was the true MVP. Not the asshole, by the way. The brother and his mother were out of line, and he did warn him not to do it, and he did it. Actions bring consequences. It is blatantly obvious which one of you is the golden child. Good job to your grandma for shutting mum's bullshit down. But your bro, he asked, you said no, he did it anyway. That's an easy way to wind up on people's shit list. What did his wife say when she found out that he didn't get your permission to ask? Is she an asshole too? Not the asshole for giving back what you got. Personally, if a guy proposed during a wedding, I would feel cheated out of my own special day. He proposed on someone else's dime instead of doing it on his own. Also, all of his family were there, but hers wasn't. And someone's in-laws were there too. Weird. Yeah, I think if you point out a fundamental flaw with using other people's family events for announcements, half of the family who needs to be there probably isn't. Maybe I'm weird, but I don't understand why proposals are supposed to be public. My proposal was an intimate and one-on-one thing, and I treasured that. A proposal of marriage is a life-changing event that takes you from being with a large group of people to just being two people. The fact that my proposal was just from my significant other to me was something that I thought was beautiful. My cousin had a surprise proposal at a family Christmas party. They had her sister film the whole thing, complete with my cousin making the fakest shocked look, complete with slowly raising her hand to her mouth. Apparently, the aunts and uncles thought that it was adorable, but most of the cousins found it super cringy. She shared the video multiple times a week, and if you didn't comment or like it, she would send it to you by text or messenger just in case you missed it. This is why we need a You're the Justified Asshole category. You're the justified asshole. He got what he deserved. Hard agree. Is it an asshole move? Yes, but karma says that it's warranted. I said this in another comment, but the universe really gave OP its blessing and the green light on this. The brother's wedding, the timing of OP's wife's pregnancy, and it being an appropriate time to announce it was perfection. I think this is an apples to apples kind of comparison here, and you're absolutely not the asshole for it. We can see who your mum likes more and who the golden child in this family is, from her picking and choosing. How dare you not allow your brother to propose at your wedding, but how dare you announce your pregnancy at his wedding? Please make it make sense, mother dearest, because the math ain't mathin' right now. Like, yes, it's an asshole thing to do, to steal the thunder from someone else's wedding, but they definitely deserved that. And yeah, you're the justified asshole here, but I want to say not the asshole, even though it is an asshole thing to do. I think it's hilarious. And now, on to the updates. Okay, so some bad news and some amazing news. The bad news is that my brother figured out that we weren't really pregnant at his wedding, and he is livid. As is his wife. I don't really care. I know it's childish, but he started it. The amazing news. We are pregnant for real. We were pregnant at the wedding, but we didn't know. Thanks again for validating my immature and vengeful nature. I guess I have to grow up now. Sorry for the short post, but I'm so excited that I almost didn't post at all. In the comments, Pretzel Mama says, "My brother figured out that we weren't really pregnant at his wedding, but you were. That's your story and you're sticking to it." OP says, "It was technically true." Yeah, but don't deny it when he says that you weren't pregnant. Just say, "Okay, dude, you figured us out." Let him get madder and madder, and his face in 9 months will be priceless. And then you can grow up. When I read shit like this, I'm grateful for going no contact with my family 18 years ago. OP says, "I'm getting there." I wouldn't presume to suggest that based on such limited information, but man oh man, the things people endure because of idealized conceptions of family. First, congrats for real. Second, I need to know, how did he figure it out and what was your mother's reaction? Also, curious how long between the wedding and knowing that you were for real expecting. OP says, "My wife and I are active and post tons of pictures. His wife pointed out that there was no way in hell that my wife's stomach was as flat as it is at over 5 months pregnant. She's actually just about 3 months. My mother was apologetic, but we live far away from most of the drama." OP on his mother's behavior at his wedding and how she demanded him to apologize to his brother for what he did at his brother's wedding. "She was so angry that I would use an event that wasn't about me for attention. My mom is not self-aware." OP on where his father has been during this whole situation. "My dad passed away during COVID." Quotes, "I know it's childish, but he started it. I fully understand why he did it, but this line made me laugh. I know it's childish, but says the most stereotypical thing that children say to justify a childish fight, is so perfect that I have to assume that it was done on purpose. And if it was, then I'm just applauding OP for it. I aspire to be this level of petty, and OP's wife sounds just as petty, maybe even pettier. I'd pay to see OP's brother and mother freak the hell out. Edit to add, I bet OP's wife made her body pregnant for real just to garnish some gaslighting on OP's brother. You know how they say that wanting to get pregnant can put too much pressure on couples for having trouble conceiving? I think that this is the opposite. The sheer desire for petty revenge caused her ovaries to go on overdrive. Quotes, "My wife and I are active and post tons of pictures. His wife pointed out that there was no way in hell my wife's stomach was as flat as it was at over 5 months pregnant." You would think, but sometimes you look normal for a long time, and soon thereafter the bump quickly catches up with you. My mother barely showed at all with my sister. She went to the doctor because she was feeling really weird, and they just did some poking. Apparently because her ab muscles were so tight, my sister couldn't expand outward, and she was putting pressure on my mum's organs. Kids' legs and feet were really turned inwards when she was born. It was wild. I never saw my mother looking actually pregnant. She also went back to frickin' work hauling scrap and salvage the day after with my sister in tow. Insanity. I don't know what to think of the mothers still after all that. I reckon I'd just go no contact with them. Plus, the fact that the wife was keeping tabs on you guys for such a long time to then out you, even though they did worse at your wedding, is so disgusting to me. Like, don't go throwing stones in glass houses, you little witch. How dare you come at me for that? All in all, I'd be considering no contact with those heathens if they were to do something like that to me. But fair enough that you can keep it civil and still remain in contact, OP. Good job. Anyway, guys, that's where I'm going to end today's episode. I do hope you enjoyed. If you did, let me know what you thought of it in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!